Hello and welcome to our channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, please give us a like and show us support by subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Charlie Munger, the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway of Warren Buffett fame, famously said that obtaining your $100,000 of investment capital is the most difficult part of building wealth. After all, if you are fresh out of college earning $50,000 per year, $100,000 represents 2 full years of income. More than that, actually, when you take taxes into account. It's no wonder then that it makes the average investor several years or decades even to save their first $100,000. Although the $100,000 amount cited by Charlie Munger is somewhat arbitrary, the principle behind it should be clear. It's easier to grow a large amount of money than a small amount of money. Consider, for example, the average rate of growth of the stock market over time. On average, the value of the S&P 500 index tends to double every 7 years or so. If you are investing, say, $1,000, you can reasonably expect your investment to be worth $2,000 in 7 years. And you could expect it to be worth approximately $4,000 in 7 or more years after that. If, however, you are starting with $100,000, you can reasonably expect your investment to be worth $200,000 in 7 years and a whopping $400,000 in 7 more years after that. Since the same principle always applies, investments doubling every 7 years or so, regardless of the initial dollar amount, obviously it's better to have the largest amount of starting capital possible. Another way to look at it in terms of the amount of time it takes to earn each subsequent $100,000, although it took you 15 years to have $100,000, the next $100,000 should take only 7 more years. The next $100,000 after that should only take 3.5 more years, and so on. Even with the fuzziness of that timeline as a result of unforeseen ups and downs of the stock market over time, the principle should be clear. The amount of time it takes to earn the same amount of money again and again tends to decrease as your investments grow. Hence, again, the importance of scrimping and saving and sacrificing to get that first largish amount of capital invested, as it only gets easier from there. Charlie Munger was right. Those first $100,000 were difficult to get. They took years of work, committing, sacrificing, saving, investing, commuting, career development, side gigs, stops and starts, backslides, and more. Yet, here you are 15 years into your foray into investing with over $100,000 invested during a market downturn. If Charlie Munger's principle holds, building wealth from here on out should be much easier. With increasing returns on your investments, it's actually dollar amounts, even if you continue to work in your career over the next few years and decades, much as you have been so far. Is $100,000 net worth good at 30? According to Bank of America survey in 2018, 16% of millennials now have $100,000 or more in savings, which they defined as people between the ages of 23 and 37. By age 30, you should aim to have the equivalent of your annual salary saved. 1 in 6 millennials have $100,000 saved. By age 30, you should have the equivalent of your annual salary saved. If you earn $50,000 a year, aim to have $50,000 in savings when you hit 30. This counts all savings, IRAs, 401ks, and taxable trading or investing accounts. By the age of 35, you should have twice your annual salary saved. By the age of 40, you should have 3 times your annual salary saved. By the age of 45, you should have 4 times your annual salary saved. A 6-figure net worth is only a great personal financial milestone, but also a great psychological barrier to break through that builds confidence in your savings and investing skills and discipline. The good news is growing this capital over time should be easier than getting to this first milestone, as you benefit from putting your capital to work. Here is a quote from the 2003 book, Damn Right, Behind the Scenes with Berkshire Hathaway billionaire Charlie Munger. Munger has said that accumulating the first $100,000 from a standing start with no seed money is the most difficult part of building wealth. Making the first million was the next big hurdle. To do that, a person must consistently underspend his income. Getting wealthy, he explains, is like rolling a snowball. It helps to start on top of a long hill. Start early and try to roll that snowball for a very long time. It helps to live a long life. Here is another version of the quote, credit to Munger. The first $100,000 is a bitch, but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon. Find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit. $100,000 is certainly a nice round number, but is it a worthy goal? Consider these points. Most people will never achieve $100,000 in portfolio assets. Forget $1 million. Consider this chart from the Quartz article, America is full of high-earning poor people. On average, even a person earning close to 6 figures will struggle to reach $100,000 in financial assets by the age of 55. If you reach $100,000 quickly, that means you have high earning power. Let's say you start a successful small business or are in a well-paid professional field. Well, you have the saving potential to reach the millionaire level. You just have to keep it by not increasing your spending accordingly. If you reach $100,000 gradually, that means you have built up a strong habit of spending less than you earn. Let's say it takes you a decade of steady saving to reach $100,000. That's okay, as you have shown that have both consistent earning power and spending restraint. You will be able to save another $100,000 over the next decade for sure. Meanwhile, your first $100,000 is going to keep on growing. At the $100,000 level, compound interest becomes significant. At 5% return, your $100,000 will grow by $5,000 in just 1 year. That's $5,000 for doing nothing but waiting around for a year. The year after that, you won't just have another $5,000. You will have $5,250 due to compound interest. At the end of the 5 years, that $100,000 is already at $127,628. Add in the additional money from your continuing habit of saving, and things start to improve quickly. Your snowball is growing.
That was today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it and that you learned something interesting. Comment down below what you liked the most about this video and suggest any topics that you would like to hear about in future videos. To show us support, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video.